In this video, I'd like to talk about 3 points that will give you insight and help you with why you are struggling with patiently waiting for the right setups and why you keep finding yourself basically jumping into trades impulsively that you know you shouldn't, which is holding back your performance in the market. So, talking about point number 1, every trader is ultimately trading for the same reason, okay, to make money. The reason why you're trading is to make money. The reason why you got into trading is ultimately to make money. We can all agree on that. So the point is, it's the intense focus on the money that leads to poor performance and is one of the main reasons why traders struggle to wait for their high probability setup. So when you're constantly focusing on the money, when you have an intense desire to make money, and that is where all your focus is, this is what's going to lead you to being impatient as to why. And this is one of the reasons why traders are struggling with patience, which is affecting their performance in the market. So they are hyper focused on the money. It feels unnatural to do nothing when sat at the chart, so it is uncomfortable. Okay, this is all part of point number 1. So it's uncomfortable not doing anything if your focus, or every trader's ultimate goal, as I just said, is to make money. Okay, so as a trader, when you're sitting there doing nothing, it feels unproductive. Okay, so when a trader begins to feel like they're being unproductive, this makes them feel as if they're not progressing. So when you're not doing anything, you're not taking trades, you're not progressing to that ultimate goal of making money, which is every trader's goal. That we can all agree on that. So this very feeling of being unproductive, this is what leads traders to take low quality trades out of boredom. Traders can't fathom the idea of just sitting there and doing nothing. It feels as if they're not progressing towards their ultimate goal of making money. So it is harder to be patient. You feel like you need to be doing something in order to progress to that goal, which isn't entirely true in being able to make money as a trader and perform at the highest level that you want to be. So the key point to understand is that not trading, so doing nothing, not actually actively taking trades, is part of your job as a professional trader. Okay, not taking a trade, not actively looking for positions when there isn't anything aligning with your system, so just sitting back observing, and actually the act of doing nothing is part of your job as a trader, and it's equally as important as actively taking trades. Point number 2, when a trader lacks clarity with their process, or they forget to remind themselves of what their entries look like, okay, it leads to impatience, which causes a dip in your performance or in a trader's performance. So think of it this way: if a basketball player didn't practice and rehearse their free throw and understood clearly the technique that they must use to successfully hit free throws, they won't perform at their best and they will miss shots. So if a basketball player, they don't practice, they don't actually know how they need to be throwing the ball, they're not practicing their technique, they're not clear on their process towards successfully throwing a free throw, then they're going to miss shots and they are not going to perform as well as they could be. So the same applies for trading, okay? The same applies for traders. If you do not have complete clarity and trust behind your process and a true understanding of what your edge looks like, so you understand the technique, your process that you are bringing to the market, you will fail to develop patience and basically end up chasing every move, which is most likely why you clicked on this video and what you're struggling with. So it's important to ask yourself this very simple question: are you confident that you know what your process is, and has it been clearly established? So this is something for you to ask yourself right now. Maybe pause the video, but take some time to reflect on your own process. Is it clearly established? Do you know exactly what your edge looks like? Do you know what trades you need to be taking, the quality of the trades, the process, the steps, your technique, or the steps and the process behind your technique, and the actual process that's leading you to being able to identify high probability setups within the market that you're trading? So do you actually have a clear process behind that? If you don't, if it's a little bit up in the air, it's not very clear, then this is what's going to cause traders or yourself to struggle with patience, and you're constantly going to be jumping into trades because you don't actually know what you need to be looking for. And when you do know when or what to be looking for and when, then it becomes a lot easier to be patient because you know what to look for, and it makes it easier to basically wait. So this last point, key point number 3, has a connection with the previous point I just spoke about there. Impatience in trading stems from a lack of trust in one's strategy. And if a trader doesn't trust that their system is going to perform or present them with an edge, they become impatient. So hypothetically speaking, if a trader, let's say trader A, doesn't quite trust their strategy, they are a little bit unsure whether it's going to be presented on a weekly basis and whether it can actually pay them over a series of trade. Okay, and then there's trader B. Trader B has trust in their strategy. They know that after a few trading sessions, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that their system is going to perform and actually present them with opportunities that they can capitalize on. Just think to yourself now, which trader, trader A, not clear on their system or trusting their system that's going to present an edge, or trader B that trusts their system and know that it's going to present opportunities to capitalize? What trader do you think is going to be more impatient? And you can obviously answer that question for yourself. So impatience in trading stems from a lack of trust in your strategy, as I've just said. And if a trader doesn't trust that their system is going to perform or present them with an edge, this is when they become impatient. So when a trader does know their system and they trust that it will produce trades on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, it becomes almost natural to wait for the right setups. Why would you not develop or exercise patience when you know and trust that your system does perform and it will produce a positive rising equity curve over a series of trades? But of course, if you don't know that, you don't trust that your system is going to present itself over a span of a week, a month, or however long, then of course you're going to be jumping into trades impulsively because you are not sure what trades to be taking, and it will almost feel as if the money's running away from you. So knowing that your system will give you an opportunity to make money over a series of trades greatly diminishes the habit of impatience, and it's going to help you to develop patience and to stop impulsively jumping into trades. So it's really important that if you want to solve your lack of patience, you've got to have confidence in your edge and trust that it will continually present itself week after week. That's all for this video. Hopefully I've been able to help you and to solve impatience in your trading. If you want to reach out to me, check out all the links in the description, and I will see you in the next one.